Hello, boxing aficionados. This is Stacy Dash, and welcome to N.W.J, the world's most dangerous boxing page. At a time where truth is dangerous, Jay pulls no punches. So get your hands up and keep swinging. And don't forget, subscribe. Peace.
You big dossers! First off, anybody that paid for this fight, you know you got your money's worth and then some. Instant classic. Instant classic. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Talk about back and forth action. Oh my goodness gracious. What a fight. What did you guys think? I picked Tyson Fury to knock Deontay out in the 5th. I was off by 6 rounds. My internet connection went out I think it was the 3rd round. I came back to the fight, and it looked like Wilder had gone down. So I was like, oh yeah, it picks this time to go out. So I missed Wilder getting knocked down. Saw the replay later. When I came back, it looked like Wilder was putting it on Fury. Fury got knocked down twice. Spoiler alert. Oh my goodness. I noticed though, Wilder came out, he was trying to show he was different. He learned something different, came out through a whole bunch of jabs to Fury's body. I didn't think Fury was affected. Like I said, he's got a thick middle, so to me it's kind of like wasting energy, but I thought he was setting Fury up for something. I thought he was going to go down to the body and then come up to the head, look down to the body, that old trick. Whoa. I need a shower after watching that fight. I'm up swinging at the screen. It looked to me like Fury could have ended it a long time ago. I noticed every time Wilder, even in the early rounds, still seemed like his legs weren't there. He would throw a punch and be immediately off balance. And like I've said before, that's one of the first things the great Emmanuel Stewart worked on with Lennox Lewis was his balance. You got to keep your balance once you throw a punch, and especially if you miss a punch so you're back in place, or else it'll just take a little bit of a shot and, knock you off balance. You may even get knocked down because you're off balance from your own punch. But, man, back and forth action. It looked like Wilder was going to go down several times. Fury's an interesting guy. It seemed like the shot that really hit him hard from Wilder on the top of the head, kind of like with Luis Ortiz. He fell down, and it seemed like he wasn't that hurt, but he's a veteran enough to know he collected himself when he was down. He didn't just try to get up too fast. He stayed down there and got up. I don't want to hear any of you Wilder fanboys talk about, the ref counted slower. I mean, he was counting, and his count wasn't right, so that's why Fury won the fight. It should have been, no, stop. Don't even start with that. Don't want to hear no Glove Gate 2.0. Don't want to hear anything about the ref's count. The ref was actually seeming like he was favoring Deontay. I'd see Deontay clinch when he was hurt. The ref just let it go. The minute Fury did something, he's warning him or something. Looked like he even went to the corner, was warning Fury in the corner. But Malik Scott was trying to inspire Deontay, and both guys showed great heart. Neither man they both showed that they both have heart. It's just one guy's skills on a different level. Both guys have heart. I hope you guys realize the 2 champions are believers in the Most High. Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. What does that tell you? Anyway, yeah, you gotta acknowledge that. Tyson Fury sang his classic song at the end of the fight. I mean, it was just back and forth, and it looked like Wilder was out on his feet for several rounds. It seemed like seemed like Andre Ward was kind of favoring Deontay. I noticed like when Fury would do something, he would be kind of quiet. The minute Deontay would do something, he'd say something. Like, he even said at one point it looked like Deontay had more energy than Tyson Fury. I'm like, What fight are you watching, Andre? And then even when they showed the end of the fight, when Lennox Lewis and Brian Kenny are jumping up, when Tyson Fury knocked out Wilder, you see Andre Ward just sitting there like this. Like he's thinking, oh, word? For real? Even Brian Kenny was like, he's like, well, I'm not the cheering kind of guy. I was jumping up and down on the inside. I'm like, come on, Andre. Caught you being a little biased with Anthony Joshua. Now you look a little suspect with Deontay. If you're rooting for him, you're rooting for him. I was rooting for Tyson Fury, and I told you he'd pull it out. So all you fanboys out there, go back to the drawing board. Find another fighter where you can come up with crazy ideas about how, whatever. Anyway, this is Tyson Fury's night. And I don't know if the weight that Deontay was holding, the 238, he looked solid. He definitely looked solid. He looked the part. I don't know if the weight was bothering him, but I just noticed from the beginning his legs were bothering him, and Tyson Fury was trying to get into Deontay's mind right at the beginning of the fight. He's calling him names and stuff. Even at the stare down at the middle, he's calling him names. And I said to myself, Tyson Fury looks a little, not Tyson Fury, Deontay looks a little nervous. He still had to come into the ring wearing a mask. He didn't come in with too much of an outfit, more of a robe and a mask. Even Brian Kenny was like, before the fight, man, just come into the ring, Come in a loincloth or something. I'm thinking, whatever, just get in the ring, leave the mask, just stop. Stop. But Tyson Fury comes into the ring and he's ready to go. At 277, he seemed to be the more energetic of the two. Deontay Wilder is having a problem with his legs. I don't know if he's having some type of Achilles problem or knee problem. I'm not sure, but something's going on with his legs. And he's got to have a trainer to come in and, not work so much of the combos. Because all those combos we saw Deontay putting on Instagram, I didn't see him throw any of those combos. He was just fighting off sheer determination to me. And it's like I said, the minute he got hit, he started going kind of right hand happy. He snuck in a couple uppercuts as well as Tyson Fury, but he just constantly, you see him pushing his glove in, like trying to make the knuckles come up, and he loads it, and you see him getting ready to throw it nearly every time. And Tyson still got caught with it, but it's like once he felt his power, it's like he adapted. He even put his hands down at one point. But this kind of looked like a continuation of the last fight with some dangerous moments in there, looked like for Fury. But Fury's, they showed, the announcers went back and showed 9 years ago how Emmanuel Stewart talked about that Tyson Fury would be a champion. And he said, you got to be mentally tough. And he said, Tyson Fury is mentally tough. He said, Deontay Wilder was tough. He said, look out for these two. So that's why Emmanuel Stewart was great. He picked this out 9 years ago. And now they met 3 times. Someone was saying at the end of the telecast, do you want to see it a 4th time? It was like, yeah, but it's done. We don't need to see it again. To me, Tyson Fury is 3-0 in that, in those matchups. And so far, Usyk and Tyson Fury are undefeated. Tyson Fury just has that draw, which was really a win. Did you guys see what's his name? Hellenius or something like that against Kowalski? I thought Kowalski was going to be like a top guy, but I think he's just taking too many punches early. I don't see. You guys thought Joe Joyce took a lot of punches. That dude, Hellenius or whatever, he was just came out hands down. It was just pow at will, throwing straight punches, and the only answer Kanowski had was blocking the punches with his chin, and that was ineffective. And he ended up getting disqualified. He kept doing the low blow thing like Galata. I was like, no, not this again. But he was trying to, I guess, get a rest or whatever, but he got disqualified. So I think Kanowski might, I always say let a fighter fight if he wants to, but he might want to look at a new line of work. He's just taking too many punches early on. And Jared Anderson looks definitely the part. He's 21 years old, went in there, handled his business, fought a big Russian, can't remember his name. But the Russian guy hadn't fought in 2 years, and Jared Anderson had been sparring with Tyson Fury. Very, very fast heavyweight at 240. Very fast. And I was thinking, I said, if Tyson Fury's been sparring with this guy, he's definitely ready for Deontay Wilder. There was rumors that Jared Anderson had knocked down Tyson Fury in camp, but he denied it, I believe. He said it didn't happen or something like that. But Jared Anderson definitely looks like he's going to be a force if he can stay focused. Young guy, 21, lightning fast jabs, 10 fights, 10 knockouts. Look for him. The F.A. Jagba fight kind of went the way I thought it would go. Frank Sanchez just outworked him. F.A. Jagba got knocked down at one point, and Frank Sanchez looked like he didn't know he was down and then hit him with an uppercut while he was down, kind of like in Creed 2. But Lennox Lewis and I didn't think he knew that he was taking a knee, in the heat of the moment. And the Jag was so tall, you don't know if he's on a knee or ducking or not. So, he's throwing his combo. But I thought, don't get that stirred up again. The last fight, Frank Sanchez had the fighter he was fighting try to act like he got a legal shot. But F.A. Jagba took it like a man and stood up. But he just was too much for even F.A. Jagba's corner was swinging. He almost hit a Jagba, telling him, man, you got to swing. You had a great camp, like go in there and, you got to fight. But he didn't know what to do. He was just following him around like this the whole fight. Like I don't know when to throw it. Frank Sanchez caught him with some good shots. So Jagba didn't appear to be that hurt when he got knocked down and even took that uppercut when he was on a knee. He didn't appear to be that hurt, but he was just getting outworked by Frank Sanchez. Sanchez is, doing the Ali shuffle and playing around. So that was a great fight, too. That was the co-main event. But Tyson Fury is the real deal. I would say he and Usyk are the best heavyweights right now, I was saying Joshua over Fury, but only way I would say that now is if Joshua, he's just got to get rid of Rob McCracken. Tyson Fury is a whole lot to deal with. You got to have a guy to come in there and teach you something new at this point. So if he gets someone new in there that gels with him, it's possible he can beat Tyson Fury, but it won't be easy. Tyson Fury, like I said, once he adapts and he feels your power, it's like like I said, he put his hands down for a while, like with Deontay, like, okay, I took your best shot. And I think that messes with Deontay every time, like, what I got to hit this guy with. But lots of back and forth action. He won 11 rounds. Tyson sung his song at the end. He was playing Sweet Home Alabama in the dressing room, laying back on a pillow. I think he was trying to get in Deontay's head because we know that Deontay is from Alabama. It was just a great fight. I don't know why people were starting to pick Deontay to win. I'm like, what is he showing you in the first two fights to make you think that he's going to beat Tyson Fury? The first fight to me was a blowout. He got knocked down twice in that fight too, but he was winning every round, so it doesn't matter. Second fight was a blowout. This one was a little bit closer, even though there were certain points, like I said, Fury he had pressed the issue, he could have just kept swinging and the ref would have waved it off because Deontay didn't even have the energy to keep swinging. So, I don't know. Deontay can, I'm sure he's going to keep Malik Scott because it wasn't I wouldn't say Malik Scott, gave him any real bad advice, but they just got to work on his balance. His balance is clearly bad, and he doesn't even know how to mask it when he's tired. He's just wobbling all over the place. So his ear was bleeding. Tyson Fury said at the end of the fight, I believe he was going to, give Deontay some dap, and Deontay didn't want no part of it. So, I hope he just says he lost this fight. Don't come up with any excuses. Nobody wants to hear that. We all watched the fight. I believe both of you were wearing the same type of glove with the horse hair and and the foam or whatever. So no excuses. And all you Wilder fanboys that like to talk junk, you guys look like Tyson Fury says, "Ya big dosas." Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you thought. Please subscribe. Yay, yay. Oh, yeah. I wanted to mention, I knew when David Haye picked Deontay Wilder to win, I told my mother, I said, well, that's a good sign, because when David Haye picks a guy to win, I was like, that usually means the other guy's going to win. So David Haye picked Deontay to win, so I said, oh, Fury got this. And so, yeah, it was a great night of boxing. Me and my son were cheering. My mom was cheering. We were praying. Prayers answered. Tyson Fury, the WBC champion. You better ask around.